Welcome to Autodesk Solutions for Retail Business, a technology briefing tailored for IT and tech managers in the retail sector. Today's discussion focuses on how Autodesk's digital solutions can empower retail formats like discount stores and petrol station convenience marts. We will explore how modern design and construction technologies, from building information modeling, BIM, to reality capture and digital twins, are transforming the way retail spaces are conceived, built, and managed. Our aim is to maintain a high-level technical perspective appropriate for IT decision-makers. That means we'll discuss capabilities, integrations, and business outcomes rather than low-level how-to details. We recognize that retail IT leaders are concerned with scalability, integration with existing systems, data management, and return on investment. As such, we'll highlight how Autodesk's suite addresses these concerns, enabling faster store rollouts, consistent multi-site execution, cost and energy efficiency, and new integration possibilities that were previously unattainable. Crucially, there is no sales pitch or call to action here. Instead, we position digitization with Autodesk as a business imperative for modern retail. You'll hear about real-world success, including a case study of a retail chain that used these technologies to great effect, and unique features like the integration of Autodesk Construction Cloud with geospatial data, so-called GIS, and with enterprise process management tools. By the end of this briefing, you should have a clear picture of how Autodesk's design, construction, and process management solutions can help solve the key challenges in the retail industry, specifically for formats such as discount retailers and fuel station stores. Let's begin by setting the stage with the industry context, and then dive into the three major solution areas we'll be covering. Let me outline the flow of this briefing. We have organized the content into three major sections: design places, make places, and design processes, reflecting the life cycle from envisioning retail locations through constructing them to managing the underlying processes. Additionally, we'll touch on a specialized integration, Autodesk plus Esri, and review a real retail case study to ground these ideas. Here's what to expect. Design places. In this first section, we discuss how Autodesk tools help design retail spaces more effectively. There are four subtopics here. Model-based design. How a BIM, building information modeling approach, using rich 3D models improves retail store design compared to traditional methods. Reality capture. Using technologies like laser scanning and photogrammetry to capture existing store conditions with precision, aiding renovations and retrofits. Drafting. The role of 2D documentation. Yes, it's still important within a modern design workflow, ensuring plans and details are clearly communicated. Sustainability. Designing with energy and sustainability in mind, leveraging Autodesk tech to minimize environmental impact and meet green building goals. Make places. The second section moves to constructing and delivering those designs on the ground. Construction management. How Autodesk Construction Cloud supports planning, coordination, and on-site management to keep retail construction or refurbishment projects on schedule and on budget. Digital twin. The creation of a digital replica of the physical store, connecting all the data about the building to improve construction, handover, and ongoing operations maintenance. Design processes. In the third section, we zoom out to process management. This is a unique angle. We'll focus on Fusion 360 Manage, Autodesk's cloud-based process and data management platform, and how it integrates with Autodesk Construction Cloud via AECO Connect. This enables linking construction issues or tasks with enterprise workflows like approvals, change management, etc., a capability that opens up new possibilities for retail organizations to close the loop between field and back office. We'll also include a dedicated slide on the integration of Autodesk Construction Cloud AECO with Esri's GIS platform. This BIM GIS integration brings geographic context to design and construction data, which can be very valuable for retail networks that are widely distributed geographically. Case study. To make it concrete, we'll look at least one real example. In this case, a European retailer that used Autodesk's digital tools to rapidly convert and upgrade dozens of convenience stores in petrol stations. We'll see what they did and the benefits they reaped. Finally, a summary will tie it all together, reinforcing why embracing these Autodesk digital solutions is a business imperative for retail companies. Essentially, why going digital now is critical for success in the discount and fuel retail space. Retail sector transformation. The retail industry, especially discount store chains and petrol station convenience stores, is under pressure to transform digitally. These formats operate on thin margins and high volume, so efficiency is paramount. Traditional design and construction processes often struggle to keep up with the rapid expansion and renovation cycles required in retail. For example, rolling out a new discount store concept across hundreds of locations or converting a fleet of petrol convenience kiosks demands extraordinary speed and consistency. In the past, relying on manual drafting, paper plans, and siloed teams often led to delays, inconsistencies, and cost overruns, which directly impact a retailer's competitiveness. Today's tech-friendly shoppers expect modern, well-designed store environments that also reflect brand consistency. Meanwhile, business stakeholders demand that new stores open faster and existing ones adapt quickly to market changes. Efficiency and accuracy in design construction translate to revenue. Think of reducing downtime during renovations or avoiding costly rework because of errors in drawings. A vivid example, a retailer found that using outdated as-built plans led to fixtures not fitting and requiring reorders, an expensive mistake we will hear more about later. Such pitfalls can be avoided by embracing digital solutions that ensure information accuracy. Another imperative is sustainability and energy efficiency. Retail companies are increasingly setting sustainability goals, often influenced by customer expectations and regulations. According to Autodesk's 2024 industry report, 87% of business leaders believe sustainability initiatives benefit their business. And in retail, this includes designing stores that consume less energy and have a lower carbon footprint. Achieving these goals requires better tools for analysis and simulation during design. In this context, digital design and construction technologies are becoming a competitive edge. Embracing BIM, reality capture, cloud collaboration, and integrated workflows allows retailers to design and build stores faster, with fewer errors, and operate them more intelligently. Leading retail firms that leverage these technologies are able to accelerate store openings, ensure consistent customer experiences across locations, and adapt quickly to new trends or challenges. This presentation will show that digitization is not just an IT upgrade. It's a strategic necessity for retail businesses to thrive in the current landscape.
Hello, my name is Andrzej Samsonowicz and I'm a solution engineer at Autodesk. The narration for this presentation was generated using artificial intelligence to ensure clear and concise English pronunciation.
Let me outline the flow of this briefing. We have organized the content into three major sections: design places, make places, and design processes, reflecting the life cycle from envisioning retail locations through constructing them to managing the underlying processes. Additionally, we'll touch on a specialized integration, the partnership of Autodesk with Esri, and review a real retail case study to ground these ideas. Here's what to expect. 1. Design places. In this first section, we discuss how Autodesk tools help design retail spaces more effectively. There are 4 subtopics here. Model-based design, how a BIM, building information modeling approach, using rich 3D models improves retail store design compared to traditional methods. Reality capture, using technologies like laser scanning and photogrammetry to capture existing store conditions with precision, aiding renovations and retrofits. Drafting, the role of 2D documentation, yes, it's still important, within a modern design workflow, ensuring plans and details are clearly communicated. Sustainability, designing with energy and sustainability in mind, leveraging Autodesk tech to minimize environmental impact and meet green building goals. 2. Make places. The second section moves to constructing and delivering those designs on the ground. Construction management, how Autodesk Construction Cloud supports planning, coordination, and on-site management to keep retail construction or refurbishment projects on schedule and on budget. Digital twin, the creation of a digital replica of the physical store, connecting all the data about the building to improve construction, handover, and ongoing operations maintenance. 3. Design processes. In the third section, we zoom out to process management. This is a unique angle. We'll focus on Fusion 360 Manage, Autodesk's cloud-based process and data management platform, and how it integrates with Autodesk Construction Cloud. This enables linking construction issues or tasks with enterprise workflows, like approvals, change management, etc., a capability that opens up new possibilities for retail organizations to close the loop between field and back office. A critical point across all sections is that Autodesk Cloud platforms integrate all design, construction, and management processes under one umbrella, eliminating traditional information silos. This unified environment allows stakeholders to manage not just design work, but also broader project management functions, like assigning tasks, tracking permissions, coordinating subcontractors, and ensuring everyone works from a single source of truth across the entire project lifecycle. We'll also include a dedicated slide on the integration of Autodesk Construction Cloud with Esri's GIS platform. This BIM GIS integration brings geographic context to design and construction data, which can be very valuable for retail networks that are widely distributed geographically. Case study. To make it concrete, we'll look at least one real example. In this case, a European retailer that used Autodesk's digital tools to rapidly convert and upgrade dozens of convenience stores and petrol stations. We'll see what they did and the benefits they reaped. Finally, a summary will tie it all together, reinforcing why embracing these Autodesk digital solutions is a business imperative for retail companies. Essentially, why going digital now is critical for success in the discount and fuel retail space. Design Places refers to the technologies and methods used to digitally design retail environments, essentially how we plan and prototype stores in the virtual world before building them in the real world. In this section, we'll see how Autodesk's tools enable a more integrated, intelligent approach to designing retail spaces compared to traditional techniques. Key aspects include unified 3D models, model-based design. Rather than working with dozens of separate 2D drawings, architects and engineers use a centralized 3D BIM model, for example in Autodesk Revit, that encompasses the store's architecture, structure, and MEP systems. This model becomes the single source of truth. Changes update everywhere, and different disciplines collaborate in one virtual space. For a retail IT manager, the benefit is data consistency and fewer costly errors, like mismatches between floor plans and MEP layouts. Reality capture for existing conditions. Many retail projects involve renovating or expanding existing stores, especially petrol station convenience stores that might be decades old. Autodesk provides reality capture solutions, like laser scanning with Autodesk Recap, to create precise 3D representations of current conditions. By capturing reality, designers start with accurate, as-built data, avoiding guesswork. We'll see how this was a game changer for one retailer that scanned old gas station shops to speed up redesign. Integrated drafting. While BIM models drive the design, traditional 2D drafting still plays a role for detailed plans, permitting, and contractor instructions. Autodesk's approach links the model to the drawings, so you can generate floor plans, sections, and elevations directly from the model and keep them updated automatically. This ensures that the fine details and documentation are consistent with the 3D design at all times. Sustainability by design. Autodesk's design tools allow sustainability to be considered from day one. Designers can simulate energy usage, daylight, airflow, and materials impact. Embedding sustainability early through digital simulations is the key to designing high-performing stores. This means decisions like lighting systems or HVAC capacity are optimized for lower carbon footprint and cost savings over the store's life. Better outcomes. The net effect of these digital design practices is better store layouts and fewer errors. Using BIM, retailers can optimize store layout and flow by modeling different configurations in 3D. They can foresee conflicts, for example, between signage and sprinklers before construction, avoiding on-site fixes. In short, design is done right the first time, which accelerates project schedules and improves quality. This introduction sets the stage. Now we will break down each of these subtopics, model-based design, reality capture, drafting, and sustainability, in dedicated slides to understand their specific value to retail. Model-based design in the retail context means using building information modeling (BIM) to drive the design process. Instead of separate drawings for architecture, electrical, mechanical, etc., a BIM approach uses a comprehensive 3D digital model of the store. Let's unpack the benefits. Unified 3D store models. In a BIM model, built with tools like Autodesk Revit, all the store elements, walls, fixtures, shelves, lighting, piping, are represented with real dimensions and properties. This model acts as a single source of truth that all stakeholders reference. For instance, if the store design team moves a wall or changes an aisle width, that change is reflected for everyone. This dramatically reduces miscommunications. By contrast, in older workflows, a change in one drawing might not get reflected in another, leading to costly errors later. A unified model ensures consistency and that everyone is designing to the same information. Optimizing layout and flow. Retail success often hinges on store layout, how shoppers circulate, how departments or product categories are arranged. BIM enables designers to iterate layouts virtually and evaluate them. As one industry insight notes, retailers using BIM can determine the most effective use of space, enhance customer flow, and create a more pleasing environment by modeling various layouts digitally. For example, a discount store chain could simulate different floor plan configurations in the model to see which yields more shelf space or better customer navigation long before anything is built. This kind of data-driven design can improve sales and customer experience in the finished store. Photorealistic visualization and VR immersion. BIM models can also be used to generate photorealistic static renderings and virtual reality VR walkthroughs. This capability allows stakeholders to experience the store's appearance well before construction begins. Investors and branding teams can walk through a virtual store, reviewing interior materials, lighting, and signage, ensuring that the design complies with corporate identity and visual branding guidelines. This immersive preview helps identify mismatches early, avoiding costly late-stage revisions. It also builds stronger buy-in from decision-makers, as they can see and feel the space in a realistic way, rather than relying solely on 2D drawings or abstract concepts. Early clash detection. BIM shines in its ability to catch conflicts in the design phase. The model can automatically detect if, say, an air conditioning duct is running through a planned light fixture or if a column blocks a planned aisle. According to a retail construction report, BIM allows early detection of conflicts/issues so they can be resolved before construction starts, with all stakeholders collaborating in one workspace. In practical terms, an MEP, mechanical, electrical, plumbing engineer, and an architect can coordinate through the model and adjust designs to eliminate any clashes. For a petrol station store, this might catch a conflict between a refrigerator unit and the electrical supply path early on. Catching issues virtually means fewer change orders and surprises on site, which translates to time and cost savings. Collaboration. Because BIM models are often cloud-hosted, for example, via Autodesk BIM Collaborate Pro, all team members, architects, interior designers, engineers, and even contractors can access and contribute to the model in real time with appropriate permissions. Everyone sees up-to-date plans, reducing the lag of file exchanges. Collaboration extends beyond the design team. Owners can review 3D visuals for better understanding, and contractors can start planning construction methods with the model context. This collaborative aspect is crucial for IT managers because it involves data sharing and integration. Autodesk's cloud ensures version control, user access management, and even integration with other systems, like cost estimation software. Data-driven outcomes. With model-based design, data is embedded in the components. Every shelf knows its dimensions, every room knows its area, etc. This makes generating schedules like counts of fixtures or materials takeoffs largely automatic, which speeds up project planning and procurement. Ultimately, model-based design tends to produce faster design cycles and fewer errors, translating to lower costs. Many firms report significant drop in RFIs, requests for information, and change orders when using BIM, because so much is clarified upfront. In summary, for retail chains, model-based design means you can roll out new store designs or prototypes more reliably. Once you perfect a BIM model for a store concept, it can be adapted and replicated to new sites with high confidence. This ensures brand and layout consistency chain-wide. We've emphasized the positives of BIM. Later in the drafting slide, we'll note how these models still produce the detailed drawings needed for permits and construction. But first, let's talk about capturing the starting point for many projects, existing stores or sites, which is where reality capture comes in. Reality capture refers to techniques like 3D laser scanning and photogrammetry to digitally capture the physical reality of a store or site. In retail, this is especially valuable for renovation and retrofit projects. For example, converting an existing petrol station shop into a new brand format or remodeling a discount store layout in an older building. Let's explore how Autodesk's reality capture capabilities add value. 3D laser scanning. Using laser scanners, often supported by Autodesk Recap software to process scans, teams can sweep a store interior or an entire building to collect millions of measurement points. The result is a highly accurate point cloud, essentially a 3D snapshot of the space, accurate to a few millimeters. This point cloud can be imported into design software like Revit to create as-built BIM models or used directly as a reference. The key point for IT and project managers, laser scanning captures the true existing conditions much faster and more precisely than manual measuring and drafting. Exact store dimensions and conditions. By scanning, you get every nook and cranny, wall positions, column placements, soffit heights, even the routing of visible pipes or conduits captured. In a petrol station convenience store, for instance, a scan will record the precise layout of coolers, shelters, etc., which is invaluable when planning a refit. Compare this to relying on decades-old blueprints that may not reflect changes over time. One case highlighted that searching for old building plans can take on the order of 9 to 17 workdays per site and still yield poor data, whereas a better strategy is get out there, scan the place, and create up-to-date plans. This quote underscores how much time and cost can be saved by capturing reality directly instead of digging through archives. Faster, error-free renovations. With an accurate as-built model or point cloud, designers can start the redesign immediately. They don't have to spend weeks doing manual site surveys or risk designing against incorrect dimensions. Up-to-date plans are ready from day one. In practical terms, when Swiss retailer Spar acquired dozens of old gas station shops, they initially tried reusing old as-built data and hit major issues. Shelving didn't fit because measurements were off, causing reorders and delay. When they switched to 3D scanning those stores, the precise data allowed them to prefab the right fixtures and complete conversions without such errors. We'll dive deeper into that story in our case study, but the lesson is clear. Reality capture prevents those nasty surprises, like oops, that wall is 5 centimeters shorter than we thought, that lead to rework. Point clouds to BIM models. The point cloud is often converted into a BIM model, essentially tracing or fitting objects to the scan. Autodesk tools and partners can semi-automate this. The resulting as-built BIM model serves as the baseline for the new design. For example, all 60 scanned convenience stores in Spar's project were turned into digital twins, detailed models of the facades and interiors, which the design team then modified according to new branding and layout guidelines. This approach ensured the new fixtures would fit perfectly because they were placed in the model referencing the exact scanned dimensions. Foundation for digital twins. Capturing reality is also the first step toward creating a digital twin of an existing store. A digital twin, which we'll discuss more later, is essentially a living model of the store that can be updated and used for operations. The scan gives you the geometry and context needed to build that digital twin. As we'll see, maintaining a digital twin can greatly help future changes. One executive noted that if their digital twin data is kept updated, they could install new systems or change store designs in no time, thanks to having that accurate model. In summary, reality capture technology saves time and reduces risk in retail projects. It allows you to start with a flawless picture of current conditions, which is incredibly important when scaling renovations across many sites. For an IT manager, supporting reality capture means equipping project teams with the means to get data they can trust, which in turn feeds downstream systems, design, costing, facility management, with high-quality information. Next, let's look at drafting, how detailed documentation ties into this modern design approach. Even in the age of 3D models, drafting and documentation remain critical. Retail projects require numerous detailed drawings, floor plans, elevations, sections, fixture details, signage layouts, MEP schematics for permits, contractor execution, and facility records. Autodesk's approach ties drafting tightly to the BIM model, yielding benefits in consistency and efficiency, especially important for chain retailers rolling out standard designs. Precise 2D drawings from BIM, Autodesk design tools like Revit or AutoCAD allow generation of 2D documents directly from the 3D model. Essentially, once you've built the model, the software can cut slices, plans at various heights, wall sections, etc., and create drawings that are annotations on the model. This means the drawings are not separate, disconnected files. They are views of the same data. If a shelf moves in the model, the floor plan and section showing that shelf update too. This greatly reduces human drafting effort and errors. It also speeds up the creation of documentation sets for new store prototypes or site adaptations, because much of it is automated from the model. Consistent rollout with standardized plans. A huge advantage for retail chains is the ability to maintain consistency across many stores. When you have a standard prototype model for, say, an 8,000 square foot discount store, you can generate a standard set of drawings, floor plan, electrical plan, fixture plan, etc. Those become templates for every new location of that format, adjusted for site-specific differences. By using a repeatable digital workflow, you ensure every store is built to the same specification and brand standard. As noted in one industry source, architectural CAD drafting services play an important role in ensuring a store design is consistently repeated over any number of locations, which in turn supports a successful retail experience. Consistency is not just aesthetic, it has operational benefits. Staff training, maintenance, and customer familiarity all improve when each store is a known quantity. Uniformity drives performance. That same reference highlights that consistent store design and proper space planning lead to tangible business benefits, attracting more customers, minimizing stockouts because layout and shelving are optimized, reducing operating costs, and ultimately increasing profits. In other words, good design documentation that can be replicated is directly linked to better retail performance. For IT managers, this means that investing in a system that can reliably reproduce designs with all details across hundreds of drawings and sites is worthwhile. Shop drawings and fixture details. Consider elements like toilet bowls, signage details, or custom millwork for checkout counters. These often require shop drawings, detailed diagrams for manufacturers or installers. Autodesk's drafting tools, AutoCAD is commonly used for detailed drafting, can produce these with high precision. In a modern workflow, a lot of fixture information might be embedded in the BIM model, e.g. families, blocks for shelving, but specialized drafting might be used to detail how a cabinet is constructed or how the store signage is mounted. Autodesk software allows linking those detailed drawings to the overall plan. For example, a callout in the plan can reference an AutoCAD detailed drawing, all managed within a common project environment. This ensures the details don't get lost and always correspond to the right location in the store. Automatic updates and change management. The integration of model and drawings means any changes are propagated. If the equipment layout in a petrol station shop is revised, perhaps to add a coffee kiosk, once the model is updated, the equipment schedule and power outlet plans update as well. This reduces manual coordination work for drafters and errors where a change isn't reflected everywhere. It's a form of built-in change management. For retail IT leads, this is akin to having a single data source that feeds multiple outputs, drawings, schedules, even BOMs for fixtures, which is far easier to manage than dozens of separate files. It also makes it possible to maintain a digital archive of each store that stays current with what was actually built. In summary, drafting in Autodesk's ecosystem complements model-based design by delivering the detailed instructions needed to build and outfit stores while preserving the advantages of consistency and accuracy. Retailers can confidently replicate designs knowing that the drawings for each new store will align perfectly with the intended model and brand standards. With design and documentation covered, our last Design Places subtopic is sustainability. designing retail spaces with environmental and long-term efficiency in mind. Sustainability is now a core consideration in retail development. From reducing energy consumption to using eco-friendly materials, retail companies are pursuing green stores to cut operating costs and meet corporate responsibility goals. Autodesk's design tools have capabilities to incorporate sustainability analysis and simulation directly into the design process, allowing teams to make informed decisions that lead to high-performance retail stores. Embed sustainability from the start. One key principle is to integrate sustainable design practices as early as possible, at the concept and design stage, rather than trying to bolt them on later. According to experts, embedding sustainability practices early in store design and renovation is key to creating high-performing, low-impact stores. Autodesk enables this by providing analysis tools within the design environment. For example, an architect can use Autodesk Insight, which works with Revit, to perform energy modeling on a store design in the early stages. This might involve simulating different insulation levels, glazing types, or HVAC systems to see their impact on energy use and carbon footprint. Early integration means sustainability isn't an afterthought. It shapes fundamental design choices like orientation of the building or the amount of natural lighting versus artificial lighting needed. Energy modeling and environmental analysis. Autodesk solutions let designers run energy simulations, daylight analyses, and thermal studies on the 3D model. For a discount retail store, you could simulate how much daylight enters the space through skylights and how that reduces lighting needs, or model HVAC loads to right-size the air conditioning units. By iterating these simulations, the design team can strike a balance between upfront costs and long-term savings. The result is a store that uses less electricity and gas, critical when you consider a chain might operate hundreds of locations. Energy savings scale up dramatically. Additionally, tools can analyze water usage for facilities that have irrigation or plumbing considerations, and even do computational fluid dynamics to ensure good ventilation. These capabilities help retailers aim for net zero energy stores or simply significantly lower utility bills. Material selection and waste reduction. Autodesk tools can also aid in selecting sustainable materials. BIM models can track quantities for materials. Combined with databases of carbon footprints of different materials, teams can make choices that reduce embodied carbon. For example, using a certain flooring material might significantly cut the carbon emissions associated with the store's construction. The software's scheduling functions, as mentioned in drafting, ensure accurate quantity takeoffs, which means ordering just what's needed, thereby minimizing waste. Furthermore, by designing in 3D and coordinating precisely, you avoid abortive work that wastes materials. Less rework and error during construction, thanks to BIM, inherently means less waste sent to landfill. Compliance with green standards. Many retailers aim for certifications like LEED, Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design, or BREEAM for their stores. Autodesk sustainable design tools produce documentation and analysis outputs that support these certification processes. For instance, daylighting simulation results or energy models from Revit Insight can be used as evidence for LEED credits. Having the analysis integrated makes it easier to gather the needed data. IT managers might note that Autodesk also provides dashboards through products like Autodesk Insight or even the Forge platform to track performance metrics. This helps in reporting how each store design meets sustainability targets, useful for corporate sustainability reporting. Benefits: lower costs and brand enhancement. The business case for sustainable design is strong. Efficient stores cost less to operate. Lighting, heating, and cooling are major operating expenses for a retail store, so a 20% improvement in efficiency directly boosts the bottom line. Additionally, sustainable stores often provide better environments, natural light, comfortable temperatures, which can enhance customer experience and even employee productivity. From a brand perspective, retailers publicly championing their green store designs can win favor with eco-conscious consumers and stakeholders. The State of Design and Make report mentioned earlier highlighted that 83% of leaders feel customer expectations influence sustainability strategy, and most see it as beneficial to business. In other words, sustainable design is not just altruism, it's good business in the long term. In summary, Autodesk's integrated approach means that architects and engineers can treat sustainability as another dimension of design, using data and simulation to make choices that yield greener, more cost-effective retail stores. The ability to iterate these options within the same design platform that creates the construction documents is a huge efficiency. Retail IT leaders should appreciate that these digital tools help future-proof stores against rising energy costs and stricter regulations, all while supporting corporate sustainability goals. That concludes the Design Places section. We've covered how we digitally design retail stores for efficiency, accuracy, and sustainability. Next, we move to Make Places, leveraging technology during construction and into the handover operations phase. Having covered digital design, we now transition to Make Places, which is all about the construction and delivery of those retail spaces. This section addresses how Autodesk supports the actual building process, whether it's new construction or renovation, and how we bridge the gap from construction into facility operation via digital twins. Key themes in this introduction. We're moving from the planning stage to the field, where schedules, contractors, and supply chains come into play. Autodesk's philosophy here is connected construction, using cloud platforms to keep everyone on the same page, manage changes in real time, and maintain a single source of truth for all construction data: drawings, RFIs, submittals, issues, etc. In other words, the same model and plans created in design flow seamlessly into the construction phase via Autodesk Construction Cloud. For retail chains, managing construction can be uniquely challenging. Projects are often small to mid-sized, like fitting out a store interior, but there may be dozens happening concurrently across different locations. Keeping track of all those projects, ensuring they finish on time, e.g., for a grand store opening date tied to marketing campaigns, and maintaining consistent quality is non-trivial. We'll see how digital tools assist in scheduling, coordinating trades, and enforcing quality and safety standards on site. The concept of the digital twin comes into play as we near completion of construction. The digital twin is essentially the living digital model of the store that carries forward into operations. In construction, building the digital twin means capturing all final as-built information and even linking it with IoT sensors or facility management data, if applicable. The ultimate goal of the Make Places section is to show how Autodesk tech leads to faster store openings and smoother handovers. That means fewer delays during construction, better communication among the construction team, and a more organized transfer of information to the facilities operations team once the store is built. We want no disconnects or data drop-offs when moving from "we built it" to "we are now operating it." The next slide will dive into construction management and how Autodesk Construction Cloud, ACC, serves as the backbone for managing retail construction projects. After that, we will explore digital twin in detail as the culmination of design and construction data, which supports ongoing store management. So let's start with how Autodesk helps manage construction efficiently. Construction management for retail projects is about orchestrating the build-out or renovation of the store efficiently. Autodesk Construction Cloud, ACC, which includes products like Autodesk Docs, Autodesk Build, is the solution Autodesk offers to manage construction in a connected, digital way. Let's break down how ACC benefits retail construction projects. Centralized cloud platform. Autodesk Construction Cloud provides a single, cloud-based repository for all project information: drawings, models, schedules, documents, photos, and more. This means the project's stakeholders, project managers, site superintendents, subcontractors, designers, etc., access the latest information from anywhere. If a design change is issued, say the fixture layout was tweaked in design due to a last-minute business request, the updated drawings model are published in ACC and everyone sees the new version immediately. There's no confusion over which set of plans are we using. ACC serves as the single source of truth during construction. For a retail chain doing dozens of small projects, having this centralized control is critical to manage consistency and oversight. Real-time updates and collaboration. With ACC, when someone on site raises an issue or an RFI, request for information, It's logged in the system and visible to the responsible party, like the architect or engineer, in real time. They can respond through the platform. This digital collaboration cuts down on delays caused by waiting for emails or paper trails. It's especially helpful when retail projects have compressed timelines. Issues get flagged and resolved faster. The site team can also mark up drawings on their tablets, and those markups sync back for the design team to review. Everyone stays on the same page, literally and figuratively. On time, on budget via better coordination. A big promise of connected construction management is improved coordination leads to fewer delays and cost overruns. Autodesk Construction Cloud is described as connecting project teams and data in real time from design through construction, supporting informed decision-making. Concretely, what does this mean? It means that because the design data, the BIM model, etc., is accessible during construction, there's less guesswork. Teams can do coordination meetings with the actual 3D model. Clash detection can continue during construction for any changes. They can sequence work digitally, 4D scheduling. All this reduces errors like discovering two trades scheduled for the same space at the same time, or materials not arriving when needed. With ACC's scheduling and tracking tools, tasks and milestones are transparent, helping ensure the store opens on schedule. Retail projects often have hard deadlines, grand opening dates, so staying on schedule is paramount. ACC's issue tracking, daily logs, and dashboards give project managers the insight to keep things on track or flag risk early. Field management and mobile access. Autodesk Build, part of Autodesk Construction Cloud, offers robust field management via mobile devices. Site managers and field crews can use iPads, tablets to access drawings, check off punch list items, complete quality checklists, and file safety observations. Think of a petrol station construction. The superintendent can pull up the latest site plan on a tablet while walking around, rather than carrying rolls of drawings. They can log an issue, for example, pipe interference above ceiling in sales area, with a photo and tag it to a location on the plan. Field technology ensures that nothing falls through the cracks and that quality standards are maintained through standardized checklists and inspections. This is particularly useful when doing a high volume of similar store projects. You can enforce the same quality checklist for each store build. For example, verify refrigeration units installed and commissioned properly or emergency exit signage in place. Integration with enterprise systems. For IT managers, one of the most compelling aspects of Autodesk Construction Cloud is its openness. It comes with an ecosystem of over 400 pre-built integrations for other systems like ERPs, CRMs, scheduling tools, etc. This means ACC can connect with, say, the company's procurement system to automatically update when materials are received on site, or with a scheduling software like Microsoft Project or Primavera. For example, if the retail company uses an ERP to manage capital project budgets, ACC could integrate so that budget status is visible alongside project progress. The presence of these connectors and a robust API means adopting ACC doesn't silo your construction data. It can become part of the wider IT ecosystem. One can even integrate ACC with Power BI for advanced reporting, or with facilities management systems for handover. In summary, Autodesk Construction Cloud acts as the digital backbone for executing retail construction projects. It ensures everyone is working off the latest info, facilitates quick resolution of issues, keeps an audit trail, useful for compliance and continuous improvement, and interfaces with other enterprise tools. The result is more predictable project delivery, vital for opening stores on time and controlling costs. Now, once a store is built, Autodesk's value doesn't stop. We move into the concept of a digital twin, a digital mirror of the physical store, which enhances both the construction closeout and the long-term operation of the store. The digital twin of a retail store is essentially the culmination of all the design and construction data, evolving into a tool for operations and future planning. Autodesk defines a digital twin as a data-rich, interactive model that mirrors the physical asset. With Autodesk Tandem, the digital twin platform, and BIM, creating and using digital twins is more accessible than ever. Here's why digital twins are a big deal for retail. Live digital replica. A digital twin starts with the as-built BIM model of the store. But it's more than just geometry. It's populated with data about the assets in the store: equipment, finishes, systems. Think of it as the store in your computer, reflecting the store in the real world. For a petrol station convenience store, the twin would include the model of the building and forecourt, plus data like HVAC model and serial numbers, lighting controls info, refrigerator case specifications, etc. This twin can be kept live by updating it when changes happen, a new piece of equipment is installed, or a renovation is done. Modern tools allow linking IoT sensors to the twin as well, so you could visualize real-time data like temperatures or foot traffic if desired. Rich asset information. One huge benefit is that all facility asset information is consolidated in one place. According to an Autodesk insight, traditionally 95% of data can get lost between design, construction, and operations, which is a big problem. The digital twin fixes that by carrying over all that data. Every asset in the building can be tagged with details needed for maintenance: owner's manuals, install dates, warranty expirations, part numbers, etc. For example, the twin will know exactly which model of rooftop AC unit is on the store, when its filter was last changed, and when its warranty expires. Facility managers can click on the AC unit in the twin and retrieve all that info instantly. This beats rummaging through paper binders or disparate files to find maintenance info. Instant changes and upgrades. With a digital twin, making modifications or planning upgrades becomes far more efficient. One retail executive noted that if their digital twin data stays updated, they could install a new ventilation system or change the corporate design in no time. Why? Because the twin provides an accurate model to plan against. If the company wants to roll out a new layout or fixture set to all stores, they can simulate it in the twin, detect any fit issues, and then issue instructions to each site. Essentially, having the twin is like having X-ray vision and a practice arena for your building. You know exactly what's there and can try changes virtually first. For a discount retailer, this could mean quickly replanning a section of the store for a new product category, knowing all dimensions and constraints up front. Facility management and monitoring. Digital twins shine in ongoing facility management. Instead of relying solely on facilities staff's memory or static maintenance systems, the twin provides a visual, intuitive way to manage the store. Maintenance personnel can navigate the 3D twin to find a valve or a circuit without trial and error. IoT integration means you could, for instance, see sensor readings, temperature, energy usage in context on the model. Useful for quickly diagnosing issues like a failing refrigerator. The twin might show a heat map indicating it's running hot. The twin can also integrate with CMMS, maintenance management systems, with ACC Connect or APS integrations so that work orders and the twin are linked. For example, a maintenance ticket for a broken light can point to the exact fixture in the twin, and once fixed, the twin's data, last replaced date, can be updated. No data loss at handover. For IT managers, digital twins solve a chronic problem: data silos and loss when projects end. Historically, when construction finished, a lot of data was handed over in PDFs, spreadsheets, etc., and often not all of it made it into operations systems. With a twin, you ensure continuity. All that construction data lives on. In fact, Autodesk Tandem allows the construction team to progressively build the twin during the project, so by handover, the owner gets an operationally ready dataset. This can shave off months of manual data transfer that facility teams usually undergo after a new store is built. Lifecycle insights. Over time, having digital twins for each store can feed into analytics across the retail chain. You can compare performance, identify which designs yield lower energy costs, plan portfolio-wide maintenance, e.g., all stores with a certain lighting system might need an LED upgrade. The twin helps identify and simulate that. It's a strategic asset for long-term portfolio management. In essence, the digital twin is the bridge between the make and the operate phase. It ensures that when the construction team hands the store to operations, they are also handing over a fully detailed digital counterpart of that store. This makes store maintenance proactive, upgrades easier, and provides data for informed decision-making through the store's life. We've now covered design and make phases. Before we move to design processes, the third section focusing on process integration, we have a couple of additional pieces to cover. One is a special integration between Autodesk's construction tools and Esri's GIS technology, and then a real-world case study illustrating many of these concepts in action. Autodesk has a strategic alliance with Esri, the leader in geographic information systems (GIS), to integrate BIM and GIS. In retail, where location is king, this integration brings a powerful dimension to project planning and execution, the geospatial context. Let's explore what integrating Autodesk Construction Cloud with Esri's ArcGIS platform means for retail business value. GeoBIM, linking BIM and GIS. Esri's ArcGIS GeoBIM is a solution that connects ArcGIS with Autodesk Construction Cloud data. In practice, this means you can see and interact with BIM project information, design models, documents from AECO directly within a map interface. As described in an Autodesk University article, ArcGIS GeoBIM provides an easy web-based way for project teams to explore BIM projects in a geospatial context, linking data from multiple systems. For a retail company, imagine an executive or program manager viewing a map of all ongoing store projects across a region. They can click on a specific site on the map and instantly retrieve the BIM model, the construction progress, and any open issues or RFIs on that project. This is possible when AECO, which houses the project data, is integrated with ArcGIS. Portfolio view and monitoring. Retailers often undertake programs, for example, open 50 new stores in the Northeast, or renovate all petrol station shops to new layout. Managing at scale benefits from GIS. With AECO Esri integration, you could have a dashboard where each store project is a point on a map, color-coded by status, on schedule, delayed, etc., drawing on data from AECO issues and schedule. Project and issue performance dashboards informed by geography significantly improve insights into project management. This means you might spot regional trends. Maybe permits are delayed in one city for multiple projects, or certain zones consistently finish faster. Insights you gain by spatially viewing the data. It basically marries the project management strengths of AECO with the analytical visualization of GIS. Site selection and design analysis. Upstream of construction, GIS is crucial for site selection, analyzing demographics, competitor locations, traffic patterns, zoning, etc. The integration allows early-stage design models to be placed on the GIS map to evaluate context. For instance, using the Autodesk connector for ArcGIS, a planner can bring GIS data like flood zones or population density into Autodesk InfraWorks or Revit to influence the design. Conversely, they can push a proposed store footprint into ArcGIS to check, say, how far it is from the nearest highway or how many competitors are within a 5-mile radius. This convergence of data helps optimize where to build new stores and ensures designs respond to local conditions, like making sure a store in a flood-prone area is designed with mitigation measures. Location-based decision-making. For retail IT and real estate teams, having BIM plus GIS means decisions aren't made in isolation. For example, if construction issues from AECO are mapped, one might realize stores in a certain region face similar challenges. Perhaps supply chain delays are hitting all projects in coastal areas. You could then proactively adjust timelines or logistics for other coastal projects. Or on the operations side, connecting BIM with GIS means when a hurricane's predicted path is mapped, you can quickly see which store digital twins from AECO Tandem lie in the affected area and retrieve their data, like roof specs, generator info, to plan emergency measures. Essentially, integration brings situational awareness. Value for distributed retail networks. Retailers like to visualize their assets and projects on maps. It's intuitive and strategic. By integrating AECO with Esri, Autodesk enables a retailer to manage the where along with the what. One scenario, the chain's expansion team could maintain a web app through ArcGIS that shows all existing stores and planned stores. Selecting a planned site might show the conceptual Revit model of the store, the construction schedule from AECO, and even allow toggling layers like nearby utility lines or traffic volume heat map. It removes the need to jump between separate systems. The geospatial integration creates a unified lens for analysis and communication. In summary, the AECO and Esri integration adds the power of location intelligence to Autodesk's design and construction data. For retail, which is inherently geographic, store networks, trade areas, logistics, This means better decision-making from site planning to multi-project oversight. It's a unique capability that turns the map into a portal for BIM data. Retailers can thereby optimize not only each project, but also how projects relate to each other and to external factors like markets and environment. Now, to see many of the concepts we've discussed in action, let's look at a case study from a retailer that leveraged several Autodesk solutions to transform their stores. Let's examine a real-world example combining many of the elements we've discussed. Spar Handels AG in Switzerland undertook a major project, converting 60 newly acquired convenience stores located at gas petrol stations into modern Spar Express mini-marts. This case illustrates the impact of reality capture, BIM, cloud collaboration, and digital twin thinking in retail. Project context: Spar acquired these 60 petrol station shops and needed to renovate and rebrand them rapidly to minimize downtime, because each day a store is closed is lost revenue. They attempted the first couple of conversions using conventional methods, basically working from whatever old drawings existed and measuring manually. This led to serious problems. Shelving and furnishings came in built to wrong dimensions, since the plans were wrong and didn't fit, requiring reorders and rework. The errors not only delayed store reopenings, but also incurred extra cost for new materials and double handling. It was clear the traditional approach was too error-prone and slow for the scale of this rollout. Reality Capture Solution: Spar switched strategy and commissioned BIM Facility AG, a technology firm, to perform 3D laser scanning on the remaining stores. They quickly scanned the interiors and exteriors of each shop and used that data to create accurate BIM models, essentially digital twins of the existing stores with facades, structures, and interiors all precisely represented. The use of laser scanning produced point clouds that served as the basis for these models. As noted in the project, laser scanning creates point clouds for precise, up-to-date plans for store renovations, and the conventional process would have taken at least twice as long with inferior results. By capturing reality digitally, Spar eliminated the measurement errors and had absolute confidence in the dimensions for designing new fixtures. Model-based redesign: with accurate as-built BIM models in hand, Spar's design team could quickly apply the new Spar Express layout and branding to each store virtually. They likely had a prototype design, shelving layout, color scheme, signage, checkout configuration, and adapted it to each scanned store model. Because the baseline models were exact, they could prefabricate shelves and counters to fit each unique store with no on-site improvisation. Autodesk's tools would have been used to coordinate these designs, ensuring, for instance, that all new equipment fit in the existing electrical capacity, etc. The cloud was used to share models with stakeholders, and since it was 2020-2021, Autodesk Construction Cloud was used for collaboration among Spar, the BIM consultants, and contractors. Execution and digital twin use: the scanning and modeling not only sped up design, but also aided the construction phase. Contractors had accurate drawings models to follow, reducing construction time. The models basically acted as digital twins. Spar's head of construction, Elias Steiner, implied that keeping the twin updated would allow very rapid future changes as well, like swapping a ventilation system swiftly. This shows that Spar viewed these models as long-term assets, not just one-off design tools. They essentially established a digital twin for each store that can be referenced for any future renovation or maintenance, which is forward-thinking. Results: the outcome was highly positive. By embracing laser scanning and BIM, Spar completed all 60 conversions much faster than if they had stuck to the old approach. It's noted that the digital approach costs about 2,500 Swiss francs per store in scanning modeling, which was roughly the cost of a few days of labor per store, a fraction of the time and cost that errors had already caused in the first manual attempts. Moreover, using digital twins and precise planning halved the time required to develop renovation plans compared to conventional methods. This speed meant stores reopened sooner, directly impacting revenue. In fact, Spar expects up to a 10% revenue increase due to the quick, smooth conversions and improved store layouts. Faster reopening plus optimized new layouts, thanks to accurate modeling, equals more sales. We see a direct thread from Autodesk technology to business KPI here. Lessons for retail IT. This case demonstrates that investment in reality capture and BIM for a large rollout yields a strong ROI. SPAR avoided the pitfalls of bad data. They ensured brand consistency across 60 locations by using models to enforce design guidelines. And they created a digital asset, twin, for each store that will keep providing value. For an IT manager, it highlights the importance of integrating these new technologies, scanners, BIM software, cloud collaboration, into the organization's standard toolkit for store development. It also underscores the need for managing the data. SPAR likely had to handle large point cloud files and model data for 60 sites, a challenge that a robust cloud infrastructure, like Autodesk's, can handle. This case was about renovation at scale. Autodesk solutions are equally applicable to new store construction or even managing existing store portfolios. Now, with this example in mind, let's proceed to our final section, design processes. We'll switch focus from the project level to the enterprise level, how Autodesk helps manage the processes associated with design and construction, ensuring a seamless connection between field and office. We now arrive at the third major section, design processes. Up to now, we discussed technologies directly involved in creating or building stores. Design processes refers to the business processes and workflows that surround those projects, things like approvals, change management, issue resolution, and linking project outcomes back into design and planning cycles. The key idea here is, in many organizations, there's a gap between what happens on the construction site and the internal enterprise systems processes. For example, an issue encountered during construction, like a design change or a supplier problem, might be handled informally in the field and not systematically fed back into, say, the design standards or vendor evaluation process at HQ. Autodesk offers tools to bridge this gap. The challenge: retailers often have established corporate processes, perhaps a workflow for store design change request, or a system for new fixture introduction or quality control loops. These might be managed in separate software like PLM, product lifecycle management, or even spreadsheets. Meanwhile, on a construction site, issues are logged in the Construction Management System, ACC, as we've covered. Without integration, valuable information can fall through cracks. For instance, if multiple projects flag an issue with a particular piece of equipment, does that insight get back to the procurement and design teams to perhaps choose a better product next time? Often, not automatically. Fusion 360 Manage. This is Autodesk's cloud-based platform for process and lifecycle management. Think of it as a highly configurable workflow engine and database that can manage things like change orders, issue tracking, approvals, and product data, traditionally used in manufacturing for PLM, but very applicable to AEC when configured correctly. In a retail context, Fusion 360 Manage could be set up to manage processes such as store prototype change approval, a workflow whenever the standard store design is modified, or fixture procurement process, or even maintenance workflows. It essentially gives you a structured way to handle processes that involve multiple steps, stakeholders, and data forms, aligning workflows and data. The vision here is to ensure that what's happening in the field during a project is not isolated from the company's broader knowledge base. By using Fusion 360 Manage in tandem with ACC, a company can formally capture issues and lessons from projects and route them through proper workflows. For example, if a construction manager on site files an issue in ACC about a design conflict, maybe the electrical plan didn't match site conditions, that issue can be automatically sent to Fusion 360 Manage as a record that might trigger a design revision process. That process could involve the corporate store planning team reviewing and updating the prototype design standards so that future projects don't face the same issue. Without such a system, the fix might happen locally, but the knowledge stays only with that project team. Integration focus. AC Connect. Autodesk provides ACC Connect, which is essentially an integration service built on the Workato platform to connect ACC with other systems like Fusion 360 Manage, ERP, etc. We will discuss specifics on the next slide, but in short, AC Connect can automatically take events in ACC, like a new issue created or an RFI closed, and initiate actions in Fusion 360 Manage. This integration is a unique capability in the market, bridging construction management with enterprise PLM workflow. It opens possibilities such as linking field issues to a root cause analysis process at HQ, so recurring problems can be eliminated in future designs or contracts. Pushing a handover checklist from ACC into a Fusion 360 Manage workflow for store opening approval by various departments, IT, merchandising, etc. Syncing asset data from the digital twin in ACC to an asset management process in Fusion, ensuring the facilities team has the data in their systems. Continuous improvement and agility. By closing the loop between construction and design processes, a retailer can get into a continuous improvement cycle. Every project's insights feed into improving templates and processes for the next project. This is especially valuable for chain retailers doing many similar projects. You essentially get better and faster with each rollout because you're learning systematically. It also adds agility. If a change needs to be made across the program, say a new compliance requirement arises midstream, Fusion 360 Manage can coordinate that change process across multiple ongoing projects in ACC, ensuring each site complies. In summary, design processes is about the people and process side of technology, making sure the tools not only solve immediate project problems, but also integrate into the organization's larger workflows and data systems. Next, we'll look more closely at Fusion 360 Manage itself and how it works with ACC to accomplish this. Fusion 360 Manage, sometimes called Fusion Lifecycle, is Autodesk's solution for enterprise process management. It's essentially a cloud-based PLM, product lifecycle management, system that can be customized to manage various workflows and data records. While its heritage is in manufacturing, tracking product development, engineering change orders, etc., it is highly relevant to AEC and retail because it can manage things like store development processes in a systematic way. Let's break down what Fusion 360 Manage brings to the table for a retail company. Configurable workflows and data management. Fusion 360 Manage is not a one-size-fits-all app. It's a platform where you define workspaces, like modules and workflows. For example, you could set up a workspace for store design change requests, where each request goes through stages: submit, review by engineering, approve, reject, implement. Or a workspace for equipment assets that holds data on each equipment type and links to where it's used. The key is that you can digitize any process that currently might live in emails or spreadsheets. If the retail facilities team has a process to approve a new type of shelving before it gets into the design standard, that can be modeled in Fusion 360 Manage with proper approvals and records. Retail process examples. Consider some specific use cases. Prototype change management. Suppose the chain wants to update the prototype design, maybe change the layout of the produce section in a discount grocery format. Fusion 360 Manage can host a workflow where the operations team, design team, and merchandising all have to sign off on the change. The request could be initiated because field feedback, via ACC issues or store feedback, indicated a problem. Once approved, that change is documented and pushed out to all relevant future projects. Fixture equipment library. A workspace could store all standard fixtures and equipment, with specs, vendor info, cost. When a new piece of kit, e.g., a new coffee machine for gas station stores, is introduced, Fusion 360 Manage handles the introduction process, testing, approvals, documentation, then flags for design teams to include it. It becomes the master list so that design and procurement always refer to the approved items. New store opening checklist. Opening a store involves not just construction completion, but also IT setup, merchandising stock, staff hiring, etc. A cross-departmental checklist could be managed in Fusion 360 Manage, where each department ticks off their part. It ensures nothing is overlooked and provides a single dashboard for a store opening readiness. Quality or safety processes. If corporate wants to track any safety incidents during construction or ensure each project follows certain steps, like an audit, Fusion 360 Manage can capture those forms and processes. Beyond BIM data. BIM is excellent for physical asset data, but Fusion 360 Manage can capture process data and things that don't have a geometry. For instance, an approval record or a decision rationale doesn't live in a model. Fusion Manage fills that gap by maintaining a database of all such records linked to the project or asset. It thus becomes a corporate memory. Years later, one can query, why did we change this design element in 2025, and find the discussion and approval record in Fusion 360 Manage. Cloud and collaboration. Being cloud-based, all stakeholders, internal and external, if given access, can participate. It enforces the sequence. For example, a change request won't move forward until a designated manager approves it, which ensures compliance with internal controls. It also means data is accessible anywhere, much like ACC, but geared towards forms and lists rather than drawings and models. Oversight and reporting. For IT managers, Fusion 360 Manage offers dashboards and reporting capabilities. Management can get a view of how many change requests are open, or cycle times for approvals, or status of store openings. This is analogous to how ACC gives project status, but on the process side. Integration with tools like Power BI is possible for advanced reporting. In essence, Fusion 360 Manage brings discipline and centralization to the myriad processes that support retail design and construction. It prevents knowledge from being siloed in individuals' inboxes or lost when staff change. Retail is a repetitive business. You might be doing variations of the same process hundreds of times, so having a system to manage and optimize those processes is a force multiplier. The next step is to see how Fusion 360 Manage can connect with ACC, bridging the field and office. We've set the stage that Fusion 360 Manage can hold workflows and processes. Now we'll discuss how we tie the issues and data from ACC, Construction Cloud, into those workflows so that what happens on site triggers the right internal processes automatically. To connect Autodesk Construction Cloud ACC with Fusion 360 Manage, Autodesk provides ACC Connect, which leverages an integration platform, Workato, to facilitate data flows between the systems. This is where things get really interesting from an IT integration standpoint. It allows us to set up triggers and actions so that events in the construction management world automatically feed into the process management world. Key points about how ACC Connect works and why it's powerful. ACC Connect Overview. ACC Connect is essentially an integration app that uses a workflow automation engine, Workato, to integrate cloud services. With it, you can create recipes like when X happens in ACC do I in Fusion 360 Manage, and vice versa. It connects via APIs to both ACC and Fusion Manage. It's a move towards an open ecosystem, automatically creating Fusion records from ACC events. A concrete example. Suppose on a construction project in ACC, a field engineer files an issue with type design coordination because they found that a certain fixture doesn't fit right. Without integration, the project team might resolve it locally and the knowledge might stop there. With ACC Connect, we could configure that whenever an issue of type design coordination is created in ACC, a corresponding record is made in Fusion 360 Manage under a Design Change Request workspace. The Fusion record would carry info like the issue description, project name, perhaps even attachments, photos, or markups from ACC. It could then kick off a predefined workflow in Fusion, notify the corporate design team, assign someone to evaluate if the prototype needs updating, etc. All this happens automatically in the background. No one had to retype the issue into an email or another system, eliminating duplicate data entry and potential errors. Other integration scenarios. An RFI, request for information, closed in ACC could trigger an as-built update task in Fusion to ensure drawings get updated for records. A submittal approval in ACC, like a new equipment approved by the construction manager, could inform the asset database in Fusion Manage to mark that piece of equipment as installed in that store's records. A safety incident report logged in ACC might create an incident record in Fusion's environment, health, and safety workflow for corporate safety officers to review and track company-wide. When a project in ACC reaches 100% completion, ACC Connect could start a store opening checklist process in Fusion 360. Manage that goes through final approvals by operations, merchandising, etc. before the store officially opens. No double entry and consistency. The big win is that data entered once by the people closest to it e.g. site teams, is utilized by other teams without re-entering. This ensures consistency. The info HQ sees is exactly what was recorded on site. It also speeds up responses. If a pattern of issues emerges, the central team sees it immediately via these synced records. In a sense, your construction sites become sensors feeding back to your process hub continuously. Unique market capability. Not many solutions in the market can do this out of the box. Autodesk's ability to connect field construction management with a PLM-style process tool is fairly unique. One Autodesk client, the City of Madison, who integrated ACC with their process automation, noted that using cloud software plus automations via APS and Workato allowed them to improve their change order processes dramatically, with data flowing and digital approvals replacing tedious manual steps. This is analogous to what a retail company can achieve: less admin overhead, more transparency, and faster processing of changes and issues because the workflow is largely automated. Feedback loop and continuous improvement. Because issues and resolutions from projects are captured in Fusion Manage, the company can analyze them across projects. For instance, Fusion could generate a report of top 10 issues across all store projects this year, maybe showing a recurring design flaw that needs fixing in the prototype. The company can then proactively address it. Essentially, this integration turns each project into a source of learning for the organization, feeding into a cycle of improvement. Over time, you'd expect the frequency of certain issues to drop as fixes are standardized, which is exactly the kind of improvement retailers want as they refine store concepts. In summary, ACC Connect ties together the job site and the back office. It ensures that important information doesn't remain siloed at the project level, but becomes part of the enterprise's knowledge system. This means faster reaction times and better strategic decisions, since leadership has visibility into what's happening on the ground. Next, we'll talk about the broader implications of this and wrap up the design processes section by highlighting the new possibilities it opens for retail organizations. By integrating Autodesk's field and process tools, ACC plus Fusion 360 Manage, retail organizations can unlock new possibilities that give them a competitive edge. Let's consider the strategic benefits and what becomes possible when you truly close the loop between design, construction, and operations. Continuous improvement. We've touched on this, but it's worth emphasizing as a top benefit. When every project's data and outcomes flow back into a central system, the organization can learn and adjust perpetually. For example, if 5 store projects in a row indicate that a particular lighting fixture is troublesome to install, the facilities and design teams can decide to pick a different fixture for future stores. This prevents the repeat the same mistake syndrome. Over time, your store prototype and construction processes get more refined, efficient, and error-free. Essentially, the retail chain's development program becomes smarter with each completed store. This is akin to a feedback loop in product manufacturing, where each iteration improves, applying it to constructing stores. Enterprise-wide insights. Having all this process data aggregated means you can do enterprise analytics. Think dashboards that combine data like average construction duration per store type, number of design change requests by region, most common supply chain delays, etc. The integration we set up provides a rich data set. For instance, Fusion 360 Manage might hold all change orders and their reasons, and ACC holds schedule data. Combined, you could analyze the impact of design changes on schedule slip across dozens of projects. These insights help in decision-making at the executive level, e.g., maybe avoid mid-project scope changes because data shows they cause X weeks delay on average. It also allows benchmarking of teams, contractors, and approaches to identify best practices. Cross-functional alignment. One of the toughest parts of retail development is coordinating between different departments: design, construction, procurement, store operations, IT for store tech infrastructure, merchandising, etc. The integrated Autodesk solution becomes a common data environment that all these functions can tap into. For example, procurement can get a live feed of when certain equipment is needed on each project via Fusion Manage workflows initiated from site progress. Operations can see in Fusion when a store's construction is at a stage to start merchandising. Everyone is looking at connected pieces of the puzzle rather than isolated charts. This alignment reduces miscommunications. Oh, I didn't know you changed that piece of equipment. Those surprises vanish when all parties are in the loop through the system. Faster innovation deployment. Retailers often test new concepts in pilot stores. Let's say a new checkout technology or store layout is piloted. Using these tools, they can closely monitor the pilot's construction and outcomes, capturing all issues and successes in detail. If it proves successful, the information to roll it out widely is already structured. The new design elements are in the BIM and Fusion system, and any kinks found are documented with how to fix them. This means the chain can go from pilot to chain-wide rollout quicker and with confidence, because the integration ensures knowledge transfer from pilot to all future projects. Essentially, it compresses the cycle of innovation, a crucial advantage in retail where adapting to consumer trends quickly. Store format changes, new services like curbside pickup requiring remodels, etc., can be a big competitive differentiator. Risk mitigation and quality control. The closed-loop process also flags systemic risks early. For example, if a supplier's equipment is failing quality in multiple projects, the procurement process in Fusion Manage will catch that trend, and procurement can intervene, either working with the vendor for a fix or switching vendors. Similarly, any safety issues logged can feed into corporate safety programs proactively. It adds a layer of oversight that makes sure small issues don't become big liabilities. Competitive edge. Ultimately, a retailer with this level of integrated digitization can execute new store builds or remodel programs with greater agility and consistency than competitors who use fragmented systems. They'll likely open stores faster, adapt designs more swiftly, and maintain higher construction quality. This translates to cost savings, less rework, fewer delays, revenue gains, open on schedule, optimized store performance, and reputational benefits. Stores are state-of-the-art and well executed. And importantly for IT leaders, this integrated Autodesk approach aligns with modern enterprise IT principles. It's cloud-based, data-driven, and can be woven into the existing enterprise architecture, thanks to the integration capabilities. It's not a dead-end niche tool, it's a platform that can grow and integrate. This wraps up our deep dive into the Fusion 360 Manage and ACC integration. We have seen how Autodesk solutions cover design, construction, and even the process management that binds them. Now let's move to the final slide to summarize everything and reinforce why embracing this digital journey with Autodesk is imperative for retail businesses today. In conclusion, we've explored how Autodesk solutions form a holistic digital platform for retail business development, covering the design of places, the making of those places, and the processes that tie everything together. Let's summarize the key takeaways and why this is truly a business imperative for modern retail. End-to-end integration. Autodesk provides tools for every stage: conceptual design, Revit, etc., detailed design, BIM and drafting, construction execution, Autodesk Construction Cloud, handover and operation, digital twins with Tandem, and process governance, Fusion 360 Manage. The real power is in how these tools integrate, sharing data seamlessly. This means your retail development pipeline becomes a well-oiled machine rather than fragmented parts. The same data threads through planning, building, and operating. This integrated toolkit is something that retail IT managers can deploy, knowing that it will work with existing systems via open APIs and connectors, and provide a unified backbone for all store development activities. Speed and efficiency. A recurring theme has been speed, accelerating store openings and rollouts. In a competitive retail landscape, getting a new store open even a few weeks sooner can capture market share and revenue. We saw in the SPAR case that digital methods cut plan preparation time by more than half and helped yield a 10% revenue increase on those stores. Multiply gains like that across a chain's portfolio, and the impact is enormous. Efficiency also comes from eliminating rework, doing things right first time through accurate information and coordination. That directly saves money. Consistency and quality. Digitization ensures each new store or remodel follows the brand standards to the letter, and any deviations are intentional and tracked. Consistency in execution leads to consistent customer experience and reliable operations. Quality is maintained via better design, clash-free, optimized, and rigorous construction management, issues tracked, resolved, lessons fed back. In an era where retail brands are trying to differentiate on experience, having consistently well-built and well-functioning stores is fundamental. Sustainability and cost savings. We highlighted how sustainable design techniques reduce energy and resource usage. Over a store's life, these savings in utilities and maintenance add up significantly, directly improving the bottom line and achieving sustainability targets. Digital tools make it feasible to integrate these without slowing projects down, in fact, aiding in efficient design. Moreover, digital twins and data also mean maintenance can be more proactive and less costly, as facility managers have the info they need at their fingertips. Data-driven strategy. With all design and construction data digitized, retail decision-makers can use analytics to inform strategy. Where to build, how much to invest, which designs yield the best ROI. These can be answered with real data from past projects and simulations for future ones, combining BIM and GIS for predictive insight. As retail becomes more omni-channel, physical stores must be smart investments. Data ensures that. Retailers leveraging these digital capabilities can optimize their capital expenditure and adapt store concepts based on performance metrics, rather than gut feelings. Industry momentum. Leading retailers and developers are already adopting these technologies. The case study and references show that companies are reaping benefits now. For example, the broad adoption of BIM in AEC, architecture, engineering, construction, is well underway. Those who lag risk being left with higher costs and slower processes. Autodesk's own reports note strong investment trends in digitization despite economic ups and downs. Essentially, the train has left the station. Digitizing design and construction is no longer experimental. It's mainstream for those who want to stay competitive. Resilience and agility. The COVID-19 pandemic and other disruptions taught retail that agility in formats, e.g. converting spaces quickly, adding new services, is crucial. A digital foundation gives the flexibility to pivot store designs and roll out changes faster with confidence. It also enables remote collaboration. It's critical if travel is limited. Teams can work on models and manage projects from anywhere. In short, a digitally enabled retail development process is more resilient to shocks and can respond quicker to new opportunities or challenges. To wrap up, digitization with Autodesk's platform is a business imperative for retail because it directly addresses speed, cost, quality, and adaptability, the key drivers of success in rolling out and managing stores. Retail IT and tech leaders have a significant role in championing and implementing these solutions because the payoff is not just tech for tech's sake. It's measured in tangible business outcomes, faster openings, lower expenses, higher revenues, and happier customers and employees. The tools and examples we discussed illustrate that this is achievable today. By embracing this integrated digital approach, retail organizations position themselves to outbuild, out-innovate, and outperform in the highly competitive market. The message is clear. Go digital and integrated with Autodesk, or risk falling behind those who do.